What's up everyone, hope you guys are all having a great day today. Honestly, it's kind of mid for me today. My Jesus SSD literally just broke last night, so I have to go out and spend another $200 to get a new one, but I got an 1811 for a 5K today, so there's that. But even though my SSD broke, I think I have to give it to the PlayStation fanboys today. They are going through a pain so much worse than me right now. They have to deal with the site that's giving their favorite game a 6.5 out of 10. I know. The horror, the tragedy, what poor souls. Yeah, if you don't know this, the new Last of Us remaster came out yesterday as I'm writing this video. And again, my opinions haven't really changed on it. I think the visual upgrade in this game is actually insane. But everything else about the game just screams low effort, creatively bankrupt, and overall a cash grab, which again, like I've said in all of my videos regarding this game, I don't know how there's any debating that statement. By definition, the game is all of those things I just listed. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure it's a well put together game that for a much lower price than what it is would be absolutely worth buying. There's not enough content in here to justify the game even being $60, much less a whole $10 more than what the normal asking price has been for the last decade or so. But we've already talked about the game itself enough. Today we're going to be talking about a controversy surrounding one of the reviews of this game, because holy shit, it is generating a shit ton of salt that is genuinely some of the funniest shit I've seen, and that is Stevivor's review of the game, or Stevivor, whatever the fuck, I don't know how you pronounce that shit, but yeah, they made a review, and I guess we can start off with reading said horrible review that's causing all sorts of controversy in the PlayStation community. I'm just gonna read the last 3 paragraphs that are really sparking all the controversy, because really reading the entire thing is honestly pointless from how self-explanatory the rest is. The problem here is that anyone with a PS4 has, or at the very least should have, played The Last of Us already. Now on PS5, it's a much harder sell. This is a PS3 game that looks like a PS5 one that's also been jacked up to Sony's premium, 125 Australian dollars current gen console title price point. That's unacceptable. If you're one of the very few PlayStation owners who hasn't played The Last of Us and doesn't require the fantastic accessibility options found within Part 2 and now Part 1, or you're not a hardcore trophy hunter, you don't need this game. The Last of Us Remastered on PS4 is priced at 25 Australian dollars on the PlayStation Store and likely cheaper at physical retailers, and will certainly get the job done. That's 100 Australian dollars less than what the title is on offer via the same marketplace, and it really does boil down to that. Good looks can only get you so far. This is like an old PC game that gets an HD texture pack by a modder, except that has already happened officially from Sony on PS4 and is happening again now, and you're paying a premium for it each and every time. 6.5 out of 10.
You can't keep getting away with it!
Now, I'll admit, this review, not perfect. A lot of it I actually do agree with, most of it being the stuff I cut out, but there's some stuff they say at the end that honestly does feel kinda disingenuous, that being the whole comparison to the game in a modded HD texture pack. Again, don't get me wrong, the game is a complete creatively bankrupt cash grab, but to compare the remastering job done in Part 1 to an HD texture pack mod is honestly really disingenuous. With the first remaster of the game from 2014, you know what? Yeah, I can agree with that. I'd hardly call the remaster of that game a remaster. It feels more like a port where they up the frame rate. But with this game, you look at a side-by-side comparison for some of the sections in the game, and it's not even comparable. I think the most significant HD mod that I've ever seen for a game was like the Resident Evil 4 HD project, which, don't get me wrong, that is an absolutely beautiful community-made remaster, but to say it's even comparable to remastering they did in The Last of Us Part 1 is a flat-out lie. That being said, as someone who's gonna be considered an adult in less than a year, holy shit, that's fucking terrifying to think about, I can look at this review, have a solid laugh, and move on with my day. Not the PlayStation fanboys. Oh no.
You give this a 6.5, but you give the OG a 10?
Yeah, the original is really fucking good. Still to this day, it's one of my favorite games I've ever played. Still probably in my top 5 if I'm being honest, but I also see how a 6.5 for the new remaster is fair. Outside of the graphics, they haven't changed shit. In fact, they've taken out content from the original. A review score is given on how much you recommend the game or not. The dude recommends you save money and buy the 2014 remaster because the new one is just not worth it right now. I don't understand why this is breaking people's brains. Not to mention, the 10 out of 10 given the first game back in 2013 was written by a completely different person, which that's another talking point that we'll get into in like a minute.
Cynical, very low effort review references the game as a remaster despite being remake with all assets remade. Just one line on AI changes, nothing on gameplay/engagement, dynamism, impact, haptics, 3D audio, no faction, impact of animation/physics, quality of life, gameplay customizations, plus left behind, etc.
Holy shit, these motherfuckers are still arguing that the game is a remake. No, a remake is something completely new that takes heavy inspiration from the original. The first 3 Resident Evil remakes, Final Fantasy VII remake, Metal Gear Solid, that shit. This touches up the graphics to modern standards and that's about it. And all the other shit they did really doesn't matter. Nobody's gonna notice the tiny AI enhancements they made behind the scenes. That apparently doesn't even make that much of a difference because the AI is still going out of cover. Shit, the goddamn developers barely mentioned those enhancements. People are gonna notice the graphical upgrade and that's it, because that's basically all they fucking changed.
Shame on you for this low-life, unprofessional review. I wish you're stripped of your job as soon as possible. Here's a block.
It's only a game. Why you have to be mad?
A low effort review for a low effort game. It's kind of poetic if you think about it. Bro really fucking blocked the Stevivor Twitter account because they made a review he disagreed with. I don't know, man, it's just funny as fuck to me. Stevivor has been shitting on PlayStation games like all year, and you really think they give a single fuck that they got blocked by some random PlayStation fanboy with like 2 followers? Honestly, I hope they give God of War Ragnarok like a straight up 0 just to piss off these people and make them lose their fucking mind.
Great! Stevivor hated it. That means it's an awesome PlayStation game.
I mean, they said Gran Turismo 7 was shit too, and we all know how that fucking turned out, so I don't know, maybe they're right here, maybe.
But regardless if 20 or 100, overall hope is the game. That should be a reason for the score. Pricing can be mentioned, but not a dagger on score.
What? Yes, the fuck it can. So you're telling me that if they would have charged for Halo Infinite's multiplayer with all the missing shit that game had at launch and still to this day doesn't have, it still would have gotten as recommended as it did at launch? Fuck no. The same shit works for The Last of Us. It's insanely overpriced, and the price is literally how you get to play the game. If it's not worth the money asking for it, you don't recommend it. And why the fuck do you care about the score? It is a number. It means next to nothing. This reminds me of when IGN was getting shit for their Shin Megami Tensei 5 review and tried to define themselves by going, oh, well, I gave it an 8 out of 10. What the hell are you complaining about?
So salty about being called out, laughing my ass off. If this was an Xbox remake, it'd be 100 from you.
Bro, they only gave Halo Infinite's campaign a half point higher than what they gave this dumpster fire of a remaster is. Sit the fuck down.
They should be ashamed of what they do. Pathetic. Go away, hypocrite. Go play Nintendo.
Okay, so here they're comparing the review scores of the Skyward Sword HD Switch port from Stevivor to The Last of Us PS5 Remaster. They gave Skyward Sword HD an 8 out of 10, but The Last of Us Part 1 a 6.5 out of 10. Yeah, this is fucking stupid. Skyward Sword HD is in the same boat as The Last of Us Remaster. Overpriced as fuck and a cash grab. But this is whataboutism. They're dodging the question without even trying to acknowledge the problem here. But even still, this is also a false equivalency, because at the very least, Skyward Sword HD didn't straight up cut out content from the original game or price their game at $70. But hey, that's beside the point. But what none of the PlayStation fanboys are realizing here is that these two reviews are written by completely different people. So even their sole attempt at whataboutism here has failed. Holy shit. How do these people even manage to get up and eat without falling off the bed and breaking their heads open on the ground?
Stevivor got the boot from reviewing a Sony Metacritic score. Good riddance.
So now they're celebrating the silence of criticism. This is some actual 1984 shit right here. But then I looked at Metacritic and surprisingly enough, Stevivor's review was right there smiling back at me. I don't know where the fuck you were looking at, but their review is still up on Metacritic. Keep dreaming, dude. Maybe Jim Ryan will buy Metacritic and blacklist Stevivor right there too. God, I just imagine how fucking hilarious it would have been if Stevivor actually had gotten blacklisted on Metacritic and couldn't post reviews on there anymore. Literally all of this bitching would have been for absolutely nothing, which I mean, to be fair, it is. These people care way too much about what other people think about a video game, and it's just like really entertaining to watch. Like, God forbid you were to talk shit about Last of Us 2 back in 2020 when they would straight up call you a Nazi for disliking it because it had strong female characters. God, I wish I was around on YouTube back then. Good times, good times. Anyways, I'm too tired to look for more dumbass tweets, so I'm gonna call it quits for today. Make sure to like and subscribe if you liked the video. Follow my Twitter and Instagram, join my Discord. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you all have a great day.
What are you going to do?